Chapter 3 Art Freaks, Section 1 What is Socialism? There was not a single liberation movement in Africa that was not fighting for socialism. Asada Shakur. I know, easier said than done. You and your other half seemed like such a perfect match. You both like that random band that hardly anyone else knows about, and something about her Capricorn moon aligning with your Leo sun told you this was meant to be. But the next thing you know, this intoxicating love interest has started telling you to hang out with your friends less. Those people aren't good for you. They're not even your real friends. You start to realize under the influence of the romance. So you start mostly hanging out with your beau, who gets you. You notice little jealous tendencies, perhaps vaguely controlling behaviors, but that's just love, isn't it? Who else out there would care for you so much, love you so deeply, that they would act totally nuts and make up lies about people when they sense you might be giving literally anyone else the time of day? This is how capitalism treats us. We've been convinced that our current system is the natural order of things based on pseudoscience about human behavior and the supposed fact that nothing else works. There's no better option. Anything else will actually be more harmful to us, we're told, no matter what abuses we endure under capitalism. And if it leaves some people in the dust, you can't worry about that, right? Just stay in your own little bubble, follow the rules, and you'll be okay. We live in a world where money and resources are hoarded by a wealthy few, yet we're told that it's under socialism that hardworking people will have their money seized to benefit lazy strangers. If there is one thing that amuses me most about capitalist propaganda, it is its ability to convince people that what we see capitalism doing isn't actually what we see it doing. While a few multinational companies control the media we consume, the music we listen to, and the food we eat, it's socialism that supposedly lacks choice and freedom. It's definitely giving the plastics from Mean Girls, and capitalism is the queen bee word. Regina's got Aaron Samuels and practically everyone else, even the principal, all wrapped up in her status and false promises. Meanwhile, the art freaks are super aware of the madness playing out and they try to give you the intel to show you there's a way out of there, but they're treated just like outcasts. We hear so much about what socialism is through the myths purported by the rich Regina Georges of the world. This chapter is dedicated to uncovering how socialism really works, challenging the myths we might not even realize we've bought into. And yes, we need a whole chapter to do this because leftists like to disagree on things and there's not a simple answer. This could be us, but we're tripping over capitalism. We've been so busy chasing capitalism's heart for, the entire history of America that we haven't spent time getting to know socialism. Socialism as a buzzword has become more popular and appealing in the last few years, but what is it really? The truth is, you'll hear somewhat different definitions of socialism from different people. Throughout its history, there hasn't been a consensus of what exactly it entails, and even Marx and Engels didn't get into a lot of details about what it should look like in practice. Essentially, socialism means that workers own the means of production in society, including the factories, natural resources, technology, machinery, and other things necessary to produce our goods and services. And workers democratically decide how the profit from their own labor is distributed and how companies and organizations are run. This contrasts with capitalism, as we know, where a much smaller ownership class primarily owns the means of production and the goods their workers produce, and a relatively small board of directors in these companies decide how profits are spent. Black Panther leader Asada Shakur put it simply: anything that has any kind of value is made, mined, grown, produced, and processed by working people. So why shouldn't working people collectively own that wealth? Why shouldn't working people own and control their own resources? Capitalism meant that rich businesses owned the wealth, while socialism meant that the people who made the wealth owned it. Asada Shakur. Another way of thinking about socialism is that it's an experiment in workplace democracy, where everyday people have primary control over how their jobs, the places where they spend most of their lives, are run. While conservatives and so-called moderates on both sides of the aisle paint socialism as a scary, radical alternative, even as fundamentally un-American, ideas from socialists have long been a part of mainstream American politics, more than we realize. In one state, socialists and other leftists were the driving force behind America's earliest investments in public infrastructure, popular progressive policies, and social programs we still have today. And no, it wasn't one of those coastal elite states that Republicans insist is poisoning the minds of children with, books. In fact, this was all going down in their favorite region, America's heartland.